Good health isn't destroyed in a single day. It's the small, everyday choices we make, especially with food, that shape our energy, our strength, and even our lifespan. Some foods may look harmless, comforting, or convenient, but when eaten regularly, they slowly wear down your health without you noticing right away. You might not feel the damage in a week or a month, but years later, the effects show up as weight gain, fatigue, high blood pressure, diabetes, or even heart disease. That's why knowing which foods are silently hurting your body is one of the most powerful steps toward taking control of your future health. 6. Sugary drinks. Think about how many times you've grabbed a soda, a flavored iced tea, or an energy drink without a second thought. They're marketed as refreshing and often linked to fun, social moments. But behind the bright labels and sweet taste lies one of the most harmful things you can put into your body: liquid sugar. Unlike eating a piece of fruit, which contains fiber and nutrients, sugary drinks deliver sugar directly into your bloodstream at lightning speed. That sugar spike feels good for a few minutes, but what follows is a crash. Your body responds with fatigue, cravings, and irritability. Over time, this repeated cycle stresses your metabolism, increases fat storage, and raises your risk of type 2 diabetes. Try picturing your daily drink like this. Every can of soda is like pouring spoonful after spoonful of sugar into your body. If you wouldn't do that with a spoon, why drink it? Replacing sugary drinks with water, sparkling water, or unsweetened tea may feel like a small step, but it's one of the fastest ways to stop long-term damage. 5. Processed meats. Hot dogs at a ball game, bacon for breakfast, or deli meat in a sandwich. These are foods many people grew up eating. They're convenient, tasty, and part of traditions. But what most people don't see is how harmful processed meats really are. Processed meats are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and additives like nitrates. These chemicals may preserve color and flavor, but inside the body, they form compounds that damage cells and raise cancer risk. The World Health Organization has even classified processed meats as carcinogenic, meaning they are directly linked to certain cancers, especially colon cancer. And that's not all. The high sodium content raises blood pressure, straining your heart and arteries over time. Combine that with unhealthy fats, and you have a perfect recipe for heart disease. Imagine eating a bacon and sausage breakfast daily. At first, it's just a meal. But years later, the buildup of cholesterol, hardened arteries, and cellular damage shows up in the form of illness. Instead of letting that slow damage pile up, choose fresh, lean meats, fish, or even plant-based proteins like beans and lentils. They nourish your body without silently destroying it. 4. Packaged snacks and chips. Few things are more tempting than opening a bag of chips, crackers, or cookies after a long day. The crunch, the salt, the flavor, it's engineered to be addictive. And that's the problem. But it's not just about calories. Most packaged snacks are fried in cheap oils high in trans fats or seed oils that cause inflammation. They're filled with artificial flavorings and preservatives that your body struggles to process. Over time, regular snacking on these foods contributes to weight gain, high cholesterol, and increased risk of heart disease. Picture this. A daily bag of chips at work may feel harmless, but over years, it's like layering plaque inside your arteries bit by bit. By swapping snacks for raw nuts, seeds, fruit, or homemade alternatives, you're protecting your body from damage while still satisfying cravings. 3. White bread and refined carbs. For many households, white bread, pasta, and rice are staples. They're cheap, versatile, and comforting. But here's the truth. They're also stripped of nearly everything your body needs. This constant up and down cycle puts strain on your pancreas, increases fat storage, and can eventually lead to insulin resistance. Over time, it's one of the main drivers of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Think about a breakfast of white toast and jam. It may feel satisfying in the moment, but within an hour, you're hungry again. Compare that to whole oats with fruit, which keeps you full and energized for hours. The difference is in the fiber and nutrients that refined carbs simply don't have. Making small swaps, like whole grain bread instead of white, or brown rice instead of white rice, builds long-term protection for your body. It's not about giving up comfort foods, it's about choosing versions that fuel you instead of depleting you. 2. Fried fast foods. The smell of fries or fried chicken is hard to resist. Fast food chains know this. They design their meals to be convenient, cheap, and addictive. But behind the golden crisp lies one of the most damaging food categories for your health. Most fried fast foods are cooked in reused oils that contain trans fats. These are the worst fats for your body, raising bad cholesterol, lowering good cholesterol, and creating inflammation that damages arteries. Combine that with excessive salt and sugar-filled sauces, and you have a meal that's quick to eat but slow to leave your system. Think of a typical fast food combo: a burger, fries, and a soda. It's thousands of calories, little nutrition, and packed with unhealthy fats and sugar. Eating this regularly doesn't just lead to weight gain. It builds long-term risks of heart disease, liver problems, and even digestive issues. Of course, grabbing fast food once in a while won't ruin your health. The danger comes when it becomes routine: lunch breaks, late-night meals, or weekend habits. Cooking at home with healthy oils and fresh ingredients gives you the same satisfaction without the slow destruction fast food brings. 1. Excessive sugar and sweets. At the very top of this list sits sugar. Cookies, cakes, candies, ice creams, they're everywhere. And while a small treat here and there isn't harmful, excessive sugar intake is one of the biggest drivers of poor health today. Sugar affects your brain like a drug, triggering dopamine release and creating a cycle of craving and overconsumption. It gives you a quick rush of energy, but what follows is fatigue, irritability, and more hunger. Over years, this cycle leads to obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even memory decline. The sneaky part is how hidden sugar is. It's not just in desserts, it hides in sauces, condiments, cereals, bread, and so-called healthy granola bars. Without even realizing it, you could be eating 2 to 3 times the recommended amount of sugar every single day. Imagine spooning 10 teaspoons of sugar into your morning coffee. Most people would never do that. But drinking a single flavored latte or sweetened iced tea can give you just as much sugar in one sitting. Cutting back isn't about living without sweetness. It's about choosing smarter sources, like fresh fruit, raw honey in moderation, or dark chocolate instead of candy bars. Every small step away from processed sugar is a step toward protecting your body's future. And if you want more content that helps you protect your health and live stronger, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a chance to improve your well-being.